Are you currently taking a TEFL course such as CELTA or Trinity Cert TESL or the CELTA? And are you asking yourself, how can you better teach vocabulary and how can you really nail those teaching practice sessions on your CELTA or Trinity course or indeed your TEFL, so that first and foremost you pass your evaluation, but also that you and your students have a better experience with those lessons? Hi, my name is Fergus Fadden, and for more than a decade now I've been a CELTA teacher trainer as well as a Trinity Cert teacher trainer, TEFL teacher trainer, and I wear a bunch of other teacher training hats. I've created this channel to help you, whether you're preparing for a CELTA, you're on a course, you're doing a TEFL course, or you just want to improve your teaching. In this video, I'm going to outline a framework for teaching vocabulary that can return really great results. So I should say, I'm not going to go into every aspect such as establishing context or also talking about what discrete vocabulary or lexical items are being taught here. I'm more going to talk about teaching vocabulary in general terms so that you can apply these tips to any vocabulary lesson, really. Okay, so the first tip is, how do you get the vocabulary from your materials over to the students? One way, and of course all of these ways that I'm saying are not exclusive of other ways. This is just one great idea. There are many great ideas out there. But one way that really works really well is just to dictate the lexical items to the learners. When I do this, when I start off by just dictating the lexical items, I always give the instruction checking question: is spelling important? The answer that I'm looking for is no, because the reason for dictating is just to expose the learners to the sound of the vocabulary. This is really just a focus on pronunciation. And it's giving the learners an opportunity to try to match what they hear with their experience of how the sounds match up with spelling in English. So just start off by dictating your words and give the instruction checking question that is spelling important? And the answer, of course, is no. Just write down what it sounds like. The next step is to have a visual material, so some images or photographs that match up with all of the words that you have just dictated. I would give students individually 1 or 2 minutes to match up the words that they have written down with the images as best they can, and then put them into pairs to compare their thoughts. The idea here is that, let's say you've dictated 10 words, student A might know the first 5 and student B might know the other 5, or student A might know the first 3 and student B might know 2. It doesn't matter if they know them all, but you know, student A's 3 and student B's 2 makes 5. So they can do a little bit of peer teaching, and maybe without an explicit focus, they might also correct each other's spelling at that stage. But all they have to go on so far is just your dictation and the images. So really all we have so far is a focus on pronunciation and meaning. Before we continue with the rest of this video, I want to take a moment to tell you about one of the things that has been keeping me busy these past few months while I've been away from my YouTube channel. The biggest thing that I've achieved in that time has been the creation of a revamped website where you can contact me and find out more about what my services are. You can find me at integratedskillsacademy.com. There's a link in the description below. And on my website, you can click on this button to book a free 30-minute consultation with me where you can talk about your future course or your current course or anything that you want to talk about when it comes to your CELTA course. So jump on to integratedskillsacademy.com. Please do share it around with anybody you think would find it helpful. And I look forward to talking with you on a free 30-minute consultation. Okay, let's get back to the video. The next step then, to build on the peer learning, I like to put the pairs into pairs of pairs. So make a group of 4. So now we had student A who knew the first 3 and student B who knew 2 more. Then we have student C who might know 1 or 2 others, and student D who might know 1 or 2 others. And now we're getting closer to them knowing pretty much everything. And again, that's reinforcing their pronunciation and their ideas around form or spelling. Now, throughout all of this, you are not just taking a passive role and watching all of this happening. Of course, you need to actively monitor. So what I like to do is just sit down and listen in on the pairs or the group conversations and just make little quick interventions where their pronunciation is going off. Because again, so far the focus is really just on pronunciation and meaning. What I can do as a teacher is more focus on pronunciation and let them work on the meaning part together. We can build on this pronunciation going towards meaning by next handing them out a text with gaps that are filled with the vocabulary in question. The idea here is to take a somewhat guided discovery approach, but also to build on a reading subskill, which is inferring meaning from context. So far, I've dictated some words. They've been matching them up to images. Now they have a strong sense of what these words could mean, and then they go and read a text with some gaps that they need to fill with those dictated words, and the text, which will be contextually linked, of course, to the images that they have matched the words to. All of this will come together to build up a sense of meaning and clarification for the learners. Again, once the learners have completed this task, they go back into pairs, compare what they thought the answers were on each gap. This again provides yet another opportunity for peer teaching and for you to continue to monitor correcting that pronunciation as you go. And then of course, after that happens, there's an opportunity for whole class feedback. This is where you'll provide the correct answers and write them on the board so students now can finally see the correct spelling or the form. So what you can do here is focus on form, correct any pronunciation that might be still left over, and ask some concept checking questions for any of the gaps that students are still having issues with. So now you've really covered pronunciation, you've really covered meaning, and the form is right there in terms of the answers that you're giving out, writing them on the board. Lastly, I would follow this up with a free speaking activity, give students some speaking prompts. You can really play with how you manage the interaction patterns here. You could do groups and then change to groups, or you could do mingles. Again, you will monitor, provide help, vocabulary, pronunciation, guidance where needed. Take some notes so that after the free speaking activity, you will be able to provide some content feedback. And then if time allows, you might even have taken note of some errors, which you can get into a delayed error correction section at the end. Okay, so that's it for my tips on how to better teach vocabulary. I hope that you find these tips helpful. And if you go ahead and teach a lesson like this, please do let me know down in the comments what effect it has for you. Do you find your students responsive to this? And these tips can be applied on your teacher training course or even just in your general teaching. So all that's left for me to say is thank you so much for watching. As always, I really appreciate it. If you found this content helpful, I'd be ever so grateful if you give this video a like, subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. And of course, please do share this if you think there's anybody in your circle who might also benefit from it. Okay, that's all for me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.